Good morning, and welcome to UMBC's graduate commencement exercises. The ceremony will begin in a few minutes. First, a few notes for your safety and comfort. Please note the emergency exits throughout the arena, in particular the ones nearest to you. We recommend that masks be worn at all times. Please do your part to avoid crowding and respect the space of others. Emergency medical services are available on the concourse level behind section 101. Parents, for safety reasons, please do not allow children to climb on the railings. During the ceremony, please do not leave your seats to take photographs or videos. Aisles must remain clear at all times, and guests are not allowed on the main floor. Out of courtesy to our graduates and guests, we ask that you please turn off your cell phones and other electronic devices, and that you stay until the end of the ceremony. Finally, our commencement program lists all the names of students eligible to participate in the ceremony, whether or not they are present. Some names may not appear in the program if the student did not submit a graduate application on time, or the names were not received by the final printing deadline. Now, please turn your attention to the far end of the event center floor, where the commencement platform party will enter. The platform party is led by the Grand Marshal, Dr. Orianne Smith, President of the Faculty Senate, and Associate Professor and Graduate Program Director of English. The Grand Marshal carries the University Mace, a symbol of presidential authority. Used only on formal academic occasions, UMBC's Mace was commissioned by the Alumni Association for UMBC's 20th anniversary in 1986. She is followed by the Graduate School Marshal, Dr. Jeffrey Halverson, Associate Dean of the Graduate School. He is joined by Staff Marshals Mr. Damian Doyle, the 2021 recipient of the Presidential Distinguished Staff Award for Professional Staff, and Deputy CIO and Senior Associate Vice President of Information and Technology. And Ms. Teresa White, the 2021 recipient of the Presidential Distinguished Staff Award for Non-Exempt Staff, an Executive Administrative Assistant for Academic and Pre-Professional Advising at the Registrar's Office. The faculty, staff, and students marshals are carrying batons that the UMBC Alumni Association gave to the university in honor of our 40th anniversary in 2006.
Welcome. Let's start with a moment of silence for the victims of yesterday's shooting and victims of gun violence everywhere. Thank you. The 78th commencement exercises of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County Graduate School will now be in order. Please rise for our national anthem, sung by Miss Erica Rawlins, a senior graduating tomorrow with a major in vocal performance. Miss Rawlins, a Linehan Arts Scholar, has performed in numerous musical ensembles on campus and is an entrepreneurship intern in UMBC's Shattuck program. After graduation, she plans to turn this into a full-time role at the music management and promotional company, A Break Music. Erica is honored to represent the music department today. Please remove your hats or caps during the anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet
Thank you, Erica. That was a wonderful rendition, and we wish you well after graduation. Now I ask that everyone please be seated, although I see most of you have already. Good for you. It is my pleasure to introduce the Vice Provost and Dean of the Graduate School, Dr. Janet Rutledge.
Good morning. President Hrabowski and distinguished guests. First, I would like to recognize our soloist, Miss Erica Rollins. Thank you, Erica. We wish you all the best in your future plans. Wasn't she marvelous? Today, we gather in a time-honored tradition shared across the world in saluting the attainment of the standards of advanced graduate study. This ceremonial tradition and the conferral of master's and doctoral degrees is one that provides a universal currency signifying the highest standard of achievement in the disciplines, subjects, and professions sponsored by UMBC. This is one of life's happiest and most significant milestones for each of today's graduates. It is a milestone not only for those earning degrees, but for all of us here today. For the graduates seated in front of me, it signifies the completion of your master's or doctoral degree and the acceptance of new and ever more challenging horizons. For the faculty and staff, the event serves as a capstone for all they have shared with you and brings special joy at seeing your personal success. And for the many families and friends here today, it is a moment in which we can all share, acknowledging the recognition that you, our soon-to-be graduates, richly deserve. For me and many others, it is a special moment during which we can witness the fruits of the many labors in our community and take pride in the remarkable work that takes place here at UMBC. During the ceremony, those of you receiving degrees will transition from being students to being alumni. Whatever career pathway you choose, you represent the very best of the future. You have embarked on one of the most important journeys of your lives, and we are all very, very proud of you. The degree earned from UMBC reflects significant achievement, often involving substantial personal sacrifice and struggle. For the pursuit of new knowledge and understanding involves growth and change. As we pay tribute to you today, we recognize, too, those who have supported you during your studies at UMBC. We know how much support your families and friends have provided throughout this experience, and this is their day, too. We come together also to acknowledge the faculty and staff who have encouraged, mentored, and inspired you to achieve your very best at UMBC. By honoring you, our graduates, we pay tribute to their artful craft of leading you to this day. Please give all of those who have supported you during these important years a round of applause. Noted psychologist and author Theodore Isaac Rubin wisely stated, "Happiness does not come from doing easy work, but from the afterglow of satisfaction that comes after achievement of a difficult task that demanded our best." So today, we bask in the glow of your happiness and satisfaction of all that you have accomplished. And we also celebrate the commencement of all you have yet to achieve. Congratulations from all of us. Before we move into the program today, let me first briefly acknowledge some of the people on the platform. Joining us are the deans of our colleges and schools, members of the President's Council, presidents of the campus senates, and presidential award recipients. And now I would like to introduce Mr. Joel Tyson, President of the Graduate Student Association, who will share brief remarks. Joel is pursuing a doctoral degree in chemical and biochemical engineering, and we hope to be celebrating his commencement one day soon. Joel?
Thank you, Dr. Rutledge. Good morning. It's such an honor to be able to address the graduate school graduates of 2022 on behalf of the Graduate Student Association. Over the past year, I've grown to love the privilege of speaking on behalf of the GSA as graduate students achieve milestones. Because, unlike faculty and administration, I can openly show my bias toward graduate students and say that the GSA thinks that you, as graduate students, are the most special set of graduates this week. To me and the other graduate students that have been working to support graduate student life, this is a day that has made the unique challenges of working for graduate students all worthwhile. But it's not just because of the piece of paper that you're getting, or that we're sending the best quality scholars, scientists, engineers, psychologists, and professionals out into the world. This cohort going out into the world today is more than that. It is a cohort of students that has seen unprecedented growth during one of the most unprecedented times of the 21st century so far. So how did you do it? Legendary coach Pat Riley is quoted as saying, "There can only be one state of mind as you approach any profound test: concentration, strength, and a spirit of togetherness." Concentration and strength goes without saying, your graduate students, but I think what makes Pat's thought transformative and what makes UMBC transformative is that last piece, a spirit of togetherness. And from what I've seen, you ended up here in triumph by establishing networks of togetherness with every study group, every collaboration, with your celebrations, both online and in person, with your assistance of each other in finding necessities like housing and food. I've seen you reach forward for help and for mentorship, looking ahead not just at a path of personal success, but a path in service of making the world a better place. I've seen you almost reflexively, consistently reach backward, helping newer graduate students, mentoring and teaching undergraduate students, and reaching out to your communities. All this while shouldering the burden of your own advanced academic material and expectations. In your time here, you created a web of support that flies in the face of the stereotype of the siloed graduate student. As retrievers, you've refused that narrative and have become interdisciplinary and interdependent. And it's through this that you've made your work not only excellent, but transformative. You've gone farther together than all the individual strength and focus in the world could sustain. You'll take that transformative potential through togetherness to all the great places you are going next. As you begin working with new groups on your new profound tests, you'll be called upon to be the leaders, because you know what it really takes not only to meet the challenge, but to bring everyone along with you in a transformative process. So as you celebrate today, make sure to share a spirit of thanks to whatever nodes in that togetherness network you have. Thanks to the family, the friends, faculty and staff, your peers and your colleagues. You all got here together. With that, on behalf of the Graduate Student Association, congratulations to the graduating class of 2022.
Thank you, Joel, for your inspiring words and for the collaborative support of the Graduate Student Association. And now, I am pleased to introduce UMBC's Provost and Senior Vice President, Dr. Philip Rouse, who serves as our Chief Academic Officer. Dr. Rouse joined UMBC in 1990. He is a professor in our Department of Physics and has served as Dean of the College of Natural and Mathematical Sciences. Dr. Rouse.
Well, thank you so much. And good morning, everybody. On behalf of the scholarly community we call our UMBC, I would like to extend my congratulations to all of our graduates. We had very high expectations of you when we welcomed you as a member of the UMBC community. Those expectations were based upon your promise as scholars. And today we celebrate your fulfillment of that promise. You will join the tradition of UMBC alumni who, through their life's work, continue to advance our understanding of our own humanity, our democracy, the natural world that surrounds us, and perhaps most importantly, make a difference in the lives of others. Your diploma represents not just your academic achievement, but the friendships you formed, the faculty who nurtured you, and the family and friends that supported you and helped you to arrive here today. And so I hope you will see your achievement as arising from within the context of a community that knows you and cares about you. My greatest hope is that your experience as a member of our community will have provided you with the opportunity to reflect upon the many values we share together, values such as excellence, inclusiveness, and respect for the dignity of others. Perhaps the most important of these is integrity, which means putting your values into action. So as you look to the future, I believe that your fulfillment will derive from making the most of whatever talents have been bestowed upon each of you. And it lies in extending to the farthest limits the resources of your mind and of your heart. And so I want to share with you finally a final salutation, and it's this. May you each enjoy a life rich in the knowledge that each day your work and your relationships have truly made a difference. Congratulations.
Thank you, Philip. And now I am pleased to introduce Dr. Freeman Hrabowski. It is with mixed emotions that we celebrate Dr. Hrabowski's final commencement as UMBC's president after 30 years in this role. Dr. Hrabowski has brought tremendous energy, vision, and leadership to this institution. He has guided us through great successes and times of great challenge, always reminding us that success is never final. He has empowered us to live out UMBC's commitment to inclusive excellence every day. He has helped connect the university with alumni, friends, companies, foundations, and agencies that have brought new resources to build and sustain distinctive programs in undergraduate education, graduate education, research, and creative achievement. Dr. Hrabowski.
Thank you, Dr. Rutledge. The late Maya Angelou looked into the face of America decades ago at the installation of another president and said, "Lift up your eyes upon this day breaking for you. Give birth again to the dreams. Women, children, men, take it, this dream, into the palms of your hands. Mold it into the image of your most public self. Sculpt it into the shape of your most private need. here on the pulse of this new day. You may have the grace to look up and out and into your sister's eyes and into your brother's face and say simply, very simply with hope, good morning. Good morning to the class of 2022. Give poetry a round of applause for poetry, for poetry, for poetry, for poetry. This is a special morning, and we've already had a moment of silence, but I know that every one of us grieves for every mother, every parent of a baby, of a child, of a teacher who's been killed. And we think about the question, what can we do? And so I go off script for a moment simply to say, what inspires me about all of you in the graduating class is that you are focused on the problems of humankind from very different perspectives. And I'm going to ask for one more moment of silence as I pray, because America is better than this. We can solve the challenge of gun violence, of working on mental health, but it will take all of us to do this, and I want all of us to think about the power of education to change lives, and a moment of silence for all those families, but for the hope that we can be better. A moment of silence. Thank you very much. I'm delighted to welcome all of you today. Life is like this. Even as you celebrate, you know there are challenges. In every one of our homes, in every one of our families, in our country, there are these stories about things that make a difference. We're delighted to be in this wonderful facility. The alumni from years back and faculty and others know we weren't always in this space. So give Chesapeake Hall a round of applause for being in a nicer facility. Today is your special day, and I want you to savor it. I've often told the story of the late Michael Hooker, who was my boss when I first came here, who talked about a pizza. He said he loved pizza so much that he'd be eating one piece thinking about the next piece. And he never really enjoyed that piece because he was already on his to the next piece, right? Well, this is your pizza right now. This one slice. I want you to enjoy this moment, because right now you're a human being, so you're also thinking about what you have to do later today. You're thinking about, oh my goodness, will I be okay? You got a job to go back to, or you're about to start one, but take a moment and savor this moment. This is your pizza slice. Remember that. I encourage you to think about the hard work, the determination, the fact that you've not made it alone. So graduates, I want you to remember, the older you get, the more you realize there's nothing in your lives more important than the people who help you. So I want you to give a standing ovation to your family and friends. Please, a standing ovation. Now I want you to keep standing, and I want you to applaud all the faculty and staff for what they've done to give you support. Great. I was also giving you time to stretch. You can sit down now. Many of you will be continuing your grad studies. Some are going to postdoc positions. Some have already assumed faculty positions in colleges and universities around the country. Others already are working. Others are starting jobs. All of you who are going to be teachers or in public service, please stand. Graduates who are either going to be teaching or in public service, please stand and give them a round of applause. I also know that we have people here today who are either teaching or staff members who are graduating. Please stand. If you're a staff member or a teaching, please give them a round of applause. Very nice. We also have people who are veterans or members of the military. Please stand. Wherever you are, give them a round of applause. Wow. Wonderful. 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 We often say that UMBC is of the world. If you are in the audience or you're in the class and you're either born in another country or you have at least one parent born in another country, please stand. Let's see who you are. Wow. 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 It is so, big round of applause. It is so amazing about the human spirit, about our great country, that we have people from all over the world who will be solving the problems of humankind. It makes us so strong, and we are so proud of all of you. To all of you, we commit ourselves to saying this will always be your place, and I'll talk about that. But again, you will be solving all kinds of challenges. We're going to have fun today. Enjoy yourselves. We always say it's a dignified ceremony, but you can laugh, all right? Enjoy it. And now I'm going to ask Dr. Rouse to join me for our next presentation. By the way, you really do look impressive. You really do.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to confer our honorary degrees. And our first honorary degree is for Dr. Mark Domes. Dr. Domes, please rise. Dr. Domes serves as the chief economist for the Congressional Budget Office in Washington, D.C. Throughout his career, he has focused on public policy while serving in the Federal Reserve System, the executive branch, as well as the legislative branch. Dr. Domes graduated from UMBC with a bachelor's degree in mathematics and economics.
Amen. Amen.
And he then earned a PhD in economics from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. After working in Paris at the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, he returned to the US to work at the Federal Reserve, both in Washington, D.C. and then in San Francisco. He regularly briefed the chair and governors on economic conditions while he continued his research and followed the US economy. In 2009, he became the chief economist at the Department of Commerce, where he advised the administration on issues such as trade, competitiveness, innovation, and education. In 2013, he was confirmed as Undersecretary for Economic Affairs at the Department of Commerce, where he oversaw the Census Bureau and the Bureau of Economic Analysis. Dr. Domes has always remained thankful for the education that he received at UMBC. And we are proud today to honor Dr. Mark Domes with an honorary Doctor of Public Service.
Now, therefore, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Maryland and given to me by the Chancellor of the University of System of Maryland, and upon the unanimous vote of the Board of Regents, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Public Service, honoris causa, together with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. Now, please join me in welcoming Dr. Mark Domes, who will present our first commencement address. Dr. Domes. And by the way, he may give some of you a job one day, so be really nice to him.
First, the good news. This is only 2 pages. You didn't come here to listen to me. But I just want to say first, thank you, Dr. Hrabowski, and thanks to the UMBC community for this award. One of my life's great honors is to share the stage with such a luminary in higher education, someone who has led UMBC and has grown UMBC in so many ways over the past 30 years. It's rare, and you will find this, to meet someone who has touched and improved so many lives. To the class of 2022, congratulations. I have just 2 points to make. First, thank you for all the sacrifices you have made And then second, thank you, looking forward to your future achievements. As graduate students, you have sacrificed your precious young years to pursue knowledge, to work hard, to ask questions, and to make mistakes. Many of you incurred debt and relinquished the nicer things in life while in graduate school. Thank you for that. However, like generations before you, your sacrifices will lead to achievements. You will make advances in science, increasing our understanding of the world and improving our lives and the lives of future generations. You will make advances in the arts, enriching our culture, making the world a nicer place for all. You will make advances in public policy, my sphere, making our society more equitable and hopefully safer. Whatever area you pursue, you will make advances, bettering the well-being of everyone. Therefore, everyone here today thanks you for your bright future contributions. There will be times, though, when you will question your contributions, when you will question your decisions. You will hit roadblocks. Setbacks will blindside you. But please, don't surrender to self-doubt. Instead, persevere. You are extremely gifted, and please don't deprive us of your gifts. Instead, take your hard-earned knowledge and skills, combine it with a dash of retriever enthusiasm, and knowing you can improve the lives of others. You'll make yourself and all those that you love proud. Thank you so much.
By the way, Dr. Jones went to Delaney Valley High School. Give me one more round of applause. Thank you for those inspiring words. Now, Dr. Rouse.
So ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to confer our second honorary degree. Dr. Kauf Raza, please rise. Dr. Kauf Raza is an associate professor at Duke University with appointments in the departments of psychiatry and behavioral sciences, neurobiology, biomedical engineering, and neurosurgery. He received his bachelor's degree in chemical engineering from UMBC. He then completed a PhD in neurobiology at Duke University, obtained an MD from the Duke University School of Medicine, and completed residency training in general psychiatry. His research interests focus on understanding how changes in the brain produce neurological and mental illness. And his ultimate goal is to combine his research, medical training, and community experience to improve the outcomes of diverse communities suffering from neurological and psychiatric illness. Dr. Raza has received numerous awards, including the inaugural Duke Medical Alumni Emerging Leader Award, as well as the Presidential Early Career Award for Scientists and Engineers, the nation's highest award for scientists and engineers in the early stages of their independent research careers. He has been inducted into the American Society for Clinical Investigation and the National Academy of Medicine. In 2021, he was named a Howard Hughes Medical Institute investigator. And so we're proud today to honor Dr. Kauf Raza with an honorary Doctor of Science for his dedication to research, public health, and the community.
Dr. Sawasa is a graduate of Springbrook High School in Montgomery County. Now, therefore, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Maryland and given to me by the Chancellor of the University System of Maryland, and upon the unanimous vote of the Board of Regents, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa, together with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertaining. Dr. Zarasa will present our second commencement address. Dr. Zarasa.
There is a vast space between silence and inspiration. A space where blank music sheets can sing sweeter than Beethoven's keys. A space where a petri dish can become more potent than Pablo Picasso's blank canvas. A space where a Python script can become more potent than Hamilton's pen. It is in this space that a young preacher locked within a Birmingham jail learned to dream of a world where his children would be judged by the content of their character, and a 12-year-old prophet would envision a world in which everyone would have access to a higher education. It's in this space that a young polymer chemist from North Carolina would rise to take the helm of the greatest institution our nation has ever built, our beloved UMBC. And an even younger biologist would learn to use her brain, her pipette tips, and her voice to save millions of lives from a 21st century plague. I discovered this space as an undergraduate behind Albert O. Kuhn Library. Before there was a parking lot, there was a hill. And I would sit for hours staring up at the stars. I used to wonder if these celestial beings could see me and if they would give me the strength to reduce human suffering, to make the world spin on a new axis. This space would guide me to a medical degree, a doctorate, an International Neuroscientist Prize, the National Academy of Medicine, and even to 2 stages with the 44th President of the United States. But more importantly, this space guided me to failed exams, countless rejected papers and grants, many lonely days in the lab, many more lonely nights in the hospital, and endless hours carrying the weight of my patients dying, some by their own hands. See, there's a vast space between silence and inspiration, and today I want to give you the skills that you will need to traverse that space. The first is family. My mother and my father, Ghanaian immigrants, valued education and hard work. I learned my knack for math and engineering from my father. I learned patience, endurance, long suffering from my mother, who worked endless nights in the hospital as a nurse, and during the day tried to guide her 3 sons through all of the minefields that lay in front of them. When my parents dropped me off at UMBC my freshman summer, they left me in the hands of Ernestine Baker and Lamont Tolliver, who would serve as my surrogate parents. Delali, my youngest brother, would join me 2 years later, along with my older brother, who was a year ahead of me, and the 3 of us would study together and we would play together. We would challenge each other in everything. In 2011, Delali, my younger brother, was named UMBC's Rising Star Award, and last year he was recognized as leading the most profitable minority-owned small business in Baltimore. I'd like to believe that I taught him everything he knows during my senior year when I was student body president and he was head of the student senate. But that distinction belongs to Charles Fay, Patty Perillo, Jamie Washington, and Greg Simmons. So you see, family is the soil from which my roots draw all of their nutrients. The second thing you'll need is friendship. I could talk about my days here on the track with David Bobb and Mark Haskins, but instead I'll tell you about the first friends that I made here at UMBC. Jason Pinnix, Simone Stalling, and Chelsea Stalling, who later became Chelsea Penix. The four of us would study together, and we supported ourselves all the way to 15 degrees, now 16, between the four of us. But what matters more than any of those degrees was being the best man in Jason Chelsea's wedding, eating ice cream with Simone to celebrate her getting into dermatology residency, holding Jason and Chelsea's firstborn, my goddaughter Madison, on my shoulders, holding their second-born son, their firstborn son, Mason, when he was 6 months old and had a diaper failure. He was sitting on my lap. Rest in peace to those sweatpants. I used to love them. And there's nothing more magnificent than watching the youngest one run around the track. So you see, no matter how painful the professional failures or how high the accolades, it's the friendships that will anchor you in the storms and remind you what really matters in this world. They are the sunshine that causes us to grow. They will bring us solace in that vast space between silence and inspiration. And if you're as lucky as I've been, those friends will also become your family. The third thing you'll need is mentors. I met Dr. Martin during my junior year here in chemical engineering, and our relationship constantly reminds me that my patients and my trainees are more than exam scores or clinical tests or means to publications. They are beautiful souls, and we must grow in wisdom to know how to best care for them. It is he who encouraged me to renovate my heart and to reach deeper into my humanity as I grew as a scientist. And then there's the GOAT himself, Freeman Hrabowski, whose dreams for me reached farther than I could ever grasp. As an undergraduate, he told me that I would become a force of nature and that my light would transform the world. He saw every possibility, but never pushed. Instead, every time I tripped and fell, when the world saturated me with adversity and tribulation, he would gently reach back his hand and pull me forward with a word of encouragement. As Doc's grandmother would tell him, the higher you go, the more people will try to pull you down. The modern day translation of that is, haters gonna hate. And when they do, it's the mentors that will be there to sustain you. They are refuge in the midst of the storm. So family, friends, and mentors. So you see, my beloved UMBC, there is a vast space between silence and inspiration, and in that space lives insecurity and creativity. There's a vast space between silence and inspiration, and in that space lives uncertainty and curiosity. There is a vast space between silence and inspiration, and in that space we are imbued with the power to define the course of human history. Yes, there is a vast space between silence and inspiration, but our beloved UMBC has given you everything that you need to traverse it. Family, friends, and mentors. So Godspeed to all of you all as you embark on this wondrous journey. And on this, the second anniversary of George Floyd's death, I simply say, may your light inspire all of those who choose to follow. Congratulations to you all.
That space between silence and inspiration. I get hope this morning because you don't know it, but he's actually invented a pacemaker to address schizophrenia and bipolar disease. Give him a round of applause. We will now move to the part of the program when we confer the PhD and master's degrees.
Before we begin reading the names of our graduates, we want to first share this short video recognizing our graduates that are participating virtually. Please help us cheer for them here and online. If you are a graduate joining us virtually, please post in the chat so that we can celebrate you.
William Thierry James Owusu Ansa, Joshua Johnson, Dana M. Ansari, Janera D. Allen, Janelle Flora Anderson, Victoria Bagarov, Megan Johnson Briley, Naga Surisha Chinthala, Yerim Chu, Daniel Arthur Simaluka, Mary E. Converso, Michael Doherty, Anne Marie Devine, Yüksel Baris Dokuzolu, Dylan James Dunn, Sylvia A.M. Ekin, Maxim Ekin Eren, Onome Juliet Asada, Lauren Nicole Fawcett, Eric H. Garcia, Jesse Wallendorf Gilson, Cynthia Ann Hale, Scott Allen Huffman, Salima N. Jumarali, Melania Maria Karmazin, Samuel Gregory Kolodrobets, Molly Main, Wakas Mahmood, Kenneth Bernard Noppinger, Sabrina Momtaz Noren, Danielle Astrid Niamsi Foyet, Amber Holly Peters, Kent Fan, Munaza Ibrahim Riaz, Maurice Evan Donladi Roots, Alyssa Schick, Francesca Noel Sena, Matthew Thomas Mariglio, Devereaux Christian Smith, Nikola Trikovich, Jeffrey D. Udall, Chen Yan,
Let's give them all another round of applause.
Dr. Rutledge, before we continue, I want to make a statement. The faculty and I, with the administration, decided to invite two of our outstanding graduates as commencement speakers to say to the graduates just how well we do, from the Congressional Budget Office to an endowed chair at Duke. I want us to give these two commencement address speakers a standing ovation. They represent the best of UMBC. Dr. Rutledge.
Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy please rise? Dr. Hrabowski.
Dr. Rutledge.
Dr. Hrabowski, I have the honor of presenting the candidates recommended by the faculty of the University of Maryland Graduate School, Baltimore, for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, the highest earned degree for which any university has the power to confer.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the state of Maryland, given to the Board of Regents and the Chancellor of the University System of Maryland, and by them entrusted to me, I hereby admit you to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, which you have earned during the course of your studies at the University of Maryland Graduate School, Baltimore. in token whereof you shall be given a diploma with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Thank you, and please be seated. Today, each graduate will receive a memento from the UMBC Alumni Association. Presenting them today is Ms. Jennifer Herson. Jennifer is one of over 85,000 UMBC alumni worldwide. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies in 1999 and is president of Data Canopy. Please join me in thanking Jennifer for her support of UMBC. And now, will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy please proceed with your mentors to the platform.
While they're doing that, audience, I want you to give the babies in this audience a round of applause because they'll be getting a PhD 25 years from now. Let's give the babies a round of applause. The human experience.
Rachel L. Carter, Language, Literacy, and Culture, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Carol McCann. Dr. Carter investigated the impact on undergraduate student learning of a curricular model for social justice courses that combines feminist pedagogical techniques and humanities analytic tools to build students' understanding of systemic inequality and their capacity for enacting social change. Rukin Isik, Language, Literacy, and Culture, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Carol McCann. Dr. Isik's feminist oral history with Kurdish women activists in northern Kurdistan/Turkey illuminates the community of political resistance to femicide and state-based ethnic violence created by the women's unprecedented activism carrying the coffins of Kurdish guerrillas and honor crime victims. Mei Fang Chung, Language, Literacy, and Culture, being hooded by her mentors, Dr. Sarah Shin and Dr. Christine Mallison. Dr. Chung explored the motivations of parents whose children attend a Mandarin-English dual-language school and how parents promote Mandarin learning at home. She is an assistant professor in academic writing for international fellows at the National Defense University. Ciara Renee Christian, Language, Literacy, and Culture, being hooded by her mentors, Dr. Brandy Wallace and Dr. Kimberly Moffitt. Dr. Christian's research explored podcasts as a space where Black feminist knowledge is created. She hopes to continue working to create spaces of equity and belonging as a diversity, equity, and inclusion scholar practitioner. Tunisia Lacey Lumpkin, Language, Literacy, and Culture, being hooded by her mentors, Dr. Kimberly Moffitt and Dr. Beverly Bickle. Dr. Lacey Lumpkin studied Black men's perceptions of Black women's hair, utilizing focus groups and interviews. She plans to expand her Black hair and body politics research by analyzing lived experiences of Black men and women through scholarship and media platforms. Catherine Julia Morris, Language, Literacy, and Culture, whose mentors are Dr. Beverly Bickle and Dr. Francine Holtgren, being hooded by Dr. Beverly Bickle. Dr. Morris studied the phenomenon of what Latina women carry in their call to social work and suggests including students' experiences in future pedagogies and curricula. She continues in her role as program director for UMBC's social work program at the Shady Grove campus. Kaylee Moroka, being Language, Literacy, and Culture, being hooded by her mentors, Dr. Yolanda Valencia and Dr. Beverly Bickle. Dr. Maroka explores how restorative justice practices support building higher education communities. As Associate Director for Student Engagement and Leadership with the University of Maryland College Park Honors Program, she teaches and trains faculty, staff, and students to utilize restorative tools in their work. Kathy Tita Vu, Applied Developmental Psychology, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Carissa Chi. Dr. Vu's research identified socio-psychological phenomena that impact the healthy development of immigrant, ethnic minority, and underrepresented groups and families. She conducts quality improvement work supporting rural, critical access, and underserved hospitals at the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Yu Jun So, Applied Developmental Psychology, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Carissa Chia. Dr. So examined sociocultural factors and parenting that contribute to young Korean immigrant children's socio-emotional and behavioral adjustment in the United States using a multi-method approach. She is a statistician at the DC Criminal Justice Coordinating Council. Caroline Hinkle, Human Services Psychology, whose mentors are Dr. Raimi Keaton and Dr. Sherry Waldstein, being hooded by Dr. Raimi Keaton. Dr. Hinkle examined the influence of daily pain on brain structural features and the impact of these alterations on neurocognitive functioning. She will pursue a postdoctoral fellowship in clinical neuropsychology at the Alpert Medical School of Brown University. Jennifer Joan Francis Hostler, Human Services Psychology, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Kenneth Matten. Dr. Hostler's qualitative research examined how and why people engage across religious differences through activism, dialogue, service, and more. She will bring her research and program evaluation skills to organizations promoting social justice, empowerment, and community well-being. Natasha Robinson Link, Human Services Psychology, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Kenneth Matten. Dr. Robinson Link's research focused on the rigorous evaluation of school-based interventions, including the critical areas of suicide prevention and restorative justice. She will pursue a clinical psychology postdoctoral fellowship at the Boston Veterans Affairs Hospital. Lauren Teresa Moriello, Public Policy, whose mentors are Dr. F. Chris Curran and Dr. Jane Arnold Lincove, being hooded by Dr. Jane Arnold Lincove. Dr. Moriello's research on restorative practices and leveraging community support will help schools improve the implementation and maintenance of disciplinary policies which reduce disparities in Baltimore and in the U.S. She teaches at Towson Universities and plans to publish her work. Sunny Trivedi, Biological Sciences, being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Michelle Stars-Gaiano. Dr. Trivedi researched cell signaling pathways that are important in animal development and diseases. He characterized new regulators of cell migration and epithelial tissue organization. He works on single-cell imaging technologies at Akoya Biosciences in California. Maisie Jion, Chemistry, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Seong Un-on. Dr. Jion employed fluorescence live cell microscopy characterizing functional significance of metabolic enzyme complexes that regulate glucose metabolism in human cells. She is investigating underlying mechanisms for Alzheimer's disease as a postdoctoral scholar at Seoul National University. Erin L. Kennedy, chemistry, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Min-jung Ki-wong. Dr. Kennedy studied four-dimensional spatial and functional networks of metabolic compartments assembled in living cells. She will be investigating metabolic networks in the olfactory neuronal tissue as a postdoctoral scholar at UMBC. Sierra Nicole Pittman, chemistry, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. William LaCourse. Dr. Pittman developed a rapid screening method for food authenticity using molecular ionization desorption analysis, or MIDAS, a novel ionization device for mass spectrometry. She is working at Shimadzu Scientific Instruments as a high-performance liquid chromatography product specialist. Alexandria E. Sestak, chemistry, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Aaron T. Smith. Dr. Sestak studied the structure and mechanism of ferrous iron transport and determined the function of the ferrous iron transport protein, THOA. She will be a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Maryland School of Pharmacy. Carlos Alexander Barajas, applied mathematics, being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Matthias K. Gaubert. Dr. Barajas' work used artificial intelligence to solve issues surrounding personalized optimal treatment plans for proton radiotherapy. He plans to pursue research opportunities which allow him to use artificial intelligence to improve medical technologies. Maria Deliani, applied mathematics, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Justin Webster. Dr. Deliani analyzed mathematical models arising in alternative energy technologies and produced a novel theory of solutions for the large displacements of elastic cantilevers. She will begin a postdoctoral research position at the University of Arizona. Neha Agarwala, statistics, whose mentors are Dr. Anindya Roy and Dr. Jun-Young Park, being hooded by Dr. Anindya Roy. Dr. Agarwala developed novel and efficient data aggregation designs and mathematical definitions for sparsity on high-dimensional convex polyhedral cones and proposed statistical tests for detecting signals restricted to such cones. She will join the National Cancer Institute as a postdoctoral fellow. Rabab Mahmoud Ahmed Naeem. Statistics, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Thomas Matthew. Dr. Naeem worked on the development of accurate and novel statistical procedures to test equivalence of generic copies of chemical drugs and biotechnology drugs to their brand name versions. She is a statistician at the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Yawan Kim, statistics, whose mentors are Dr. Sung-Chul Baek and Dr. Jun-Young Park, being hooded by Dr. Sung-Chul Baek. Dr. Kim researched statistical methodologies to detect some groups of genes associated with certain diseases. She will begin her professional career as a postdoctoral researcher at the National Cancer Institute. Ralph Kenneth L. Colmenar, physics, being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Jason Kestner. Dr. Colmenar investigated robust quantum control and disproved a widespread misconception about geometric quantum gates. He will perform theoretical research on solid-state quantum computing as a postdoctoral associate at the Laboratory for Physical Sciences at the University of Maryland, College Park. Hari Prasad Lamsul, physics, being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Pittman. Dr. Lamsul's research used optical nanofibers that are 100 times thinner than human hair to study fundamental interactions between photons and atoms. He is a postdoctoral researcher in the quantum technologies team at the Los Alamos National Laboratory. Nathan Mark Myers, physics, being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Sebastian Defner. Dr. Myers explored the thermodynamics of indistinguishable particles through the performance analysis of quantum heat engines, providing a deeper understanding for leveraging quantum phenomena as thermodynamic resources. He has accepted a postdoctoral researcher position at Virginia Tech. Daniel Wines, physics, being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Khan Attica. Dr. Wines' work involved the investigation of two-dimensional materials using accurate computational methods, which will accelerate the design and application of future 2D devices. He will be a National Research Council postdoctoral associate at the National Institute of Standards and Technology. Marilyn Allen, chemical and biochemical engineering, whose mentors are Dr. Jenny B. Leach and Dr. Gregory Sato, being hooded by Dr. Douglas Fry. Dr. Allen researched nanoparticles as a drug delivery platform for lupus treatment. She is a senior scientist at Merck, a research-intensive biopharmaceutical company. Zara Ghassemi, chemical and biochemical engineering, being hooded by Dr. Douglas Fry. Using biophysical tools to study protein stability and aggregation, Dr. Ghassemi's novel findings could transform our understanding of protein folding phenomena and how protein therapeutics are formulated. She will continue her work in the field of pharmaceutical development. Yang Liu, chemical and biochemical engineering, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Douglas Fry. Dr. Liu developed new methods for purifying monoclonal antibodies using the technique of chromatofocusing. These methods are especially useful for removing protein impurities. She is a senior scientist at AstraZeneca, where she works on purifying therapeutic protein drugs. Morteza Hosseini, computer engineering, being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Tanush Messanen. Dr. Hosseini researched optimizing machine learning algorithms and developing low-power processing devices that have applications in health systems and smart wearable devices. Xin Liu, computer engineering, whose mentor is Dr. Ting Zhu, being hooded by Dr. Tanush Mosanen. Dr. Liu focused on designing and implementing next-generation wireless networks, bridging trillions of everyday things to the digital world. His achievements have been featured at SIGCOMM and NSDI, top conferences for computer engineering. He will pursue a postdoctoral position at The Ohio State University. Colin Shea, computer engineering, being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Tanush Mosanen. Dr. Shea's research focused on machine learning through custom field programmable gate array hardware and optimized software, creating a scalable automated approach to developing machine learning applications on heterogeneous systems. He is a technical fellow at the Boeing Company. Trevor Anthony Paul Kroger, computer engineering, being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Naghmeh Karimi. Dr. Kroger researched the security of integrated circuits, discovering novel attacks and developing innovative countermeasures to make the circuits resilient against such attacks. He is a computer engineer at the Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory. Jing Kuyi Borle, computer engineering, being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Samuel Lamonaco. Dr. Borle worked on solving linear algebra problems using quantum optimization as a practical alternative to other quantum algorithms which require fault tolerance for the same task. He is seeking a position in quantum information sciences. Joseph Robert Collins, computer science, being hooded by his mentor, Dr. David Chapman. Dr. Collins's research bridges the gap between the theory of topological data analysis and applied machine learning. His work yields state-of-the-art accuracy for time series classification. Sumit Menon, computer science, being hooded by his mentor, Dr. David Chapman. Dr. Menon researched ways to combat confounding in artificial intelligence. His technique allows artificial intelligence to learn with less human oversight while preventing artificial intelligence from reinforcing its prior errors in understanding. Ashwin Kumar Ganesham, computer science, being hooded by his mentors, Dr. Tim Oates and Dr. Francis Ferraro. Dr. Ganesan explored ways to build artificial intelligence models efficiently with limited data and hardware in order to reduce data dependence and mitigate privacy concerns. He uses his knowledge to build the next generation of language translation technologies at Amazon. Akshay Kashuve, computer science, being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Tim Oates. Dr. Bashuve used machine learning to enable machines to understand the themes and topics contained in documents without requiring prior knowledge about the subject area or the need for human intervention. He is a machine learning research scientist at General Electric Research. Rahmin Ayanzadeh, computer science, being hooded by his mentors, Dr. Milton Halem and Dr. Tim Finan. Dr. Ayanzadeh advanced practical quantum information processing by showing how quantum annealers can more quickly solve difficult computational problems found in many artificial intelligence applications. He is continuing his research as an NSF-sponsored postdoctoral fellow at the Georgia Institute of Technology. Elijah Joseph Miller, computer science, whose mentors are Dr. Ting Zhu and Dr. Nilanjan Banerjee, being hooded by Dr. Nilanjan Banerjee. Utilizing radar for non-contact sensing as a versatile design for smart healthcare applications, Dr. Miller researched radar's effectiveness for building robust and privacy-preserving systems, empowering people to make informed health decisions. He works as a software engineer at Microsoft. Haneen Mohammed Nawawi Bawayan, electrical engineering, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Mohammed Yunus. Dr. Bawayan's research tackles the risk of power outages and power stability issues by developing effective management techniques for reliable and fault-resilient operation of smart grids. She will be joining King Abdulaziz University in Saudi Arabia as an assistant professor. Hira Lee, Human-Centered Computing, whose mentors are Dr. Ravi Kuber and Jiaki Zhang, being hooded by Dr. Ravi Kuber. Using a wearable biosensor, Dr. Lee developed an approach to support English instructors to provide emotional and instructional scaffolding for English language learners through biosensor-based feedback. She will teach user experience, UX, design and research methods at the University of Maryland. Ali Abdulrahmani, Human-Centered Computing, whose mentors are Dr. Ravi Kuber and Dr. Stacy Branham, being hooded by Dr. Ravi Kuber. Using voice assistants such as Siri, Dr. Abdulrahmani examined the experiences of individuals who are blind and investigated the ways these technologies can support indoor wayfinding. He is seeking career opportunities to serve the blind community with technology. Ashwag Alunsamri, Information Systems, whose mentors are Dr. Anita Kamladi and Dr. Lena Zhu, being hooded by Dr. Anita Kamladi. Dr. Alusmari's researched the challenges of seeking online health information of patients with chronic diseases with implications for improving the success of online question answering communities. She is a postdoctoral fellow at the U.S. National Library of Medicine, National Institutes of Health. Najud Muhammad S. Aludari, Information Systems, whose mentors are Dr. Jiwan Chen and Dr. Lena Zhou, being hooded by Dr. Jiwan Chen. Dr. Aludari developed a novel learning approach to extract valuable information from online physician reviews, providing effective evaluation of the quality of and the patient satisfaction with healthcare services. She will extend her research as an assistant professor at King Khalid University in Saudi Arabia. Warun Mandalapu, Information Systems, whose mentors are Dr. Jiwan Chen and Dr. Jianqi Gong, being hooded by Dr. Jiwan Chen. Dr. Mandalapu studied the relationship between student activity on virtual learning platforms and academic achievement by developing and applying novel data science methodologies. He is working as an enterprise data scientist at Mutual of Omaha. Munesh Ramachandran Pillai, Information Systems, whose mentor is Dr. George Karabatis. He is being hooded by Dr. Jiwan Chen. Dr. Pillai introduced the concept of multi-layer semantic link networks that connect relevant geographic objects, semantically enhancing the results of geographic information systems queries. He is a senior IT specialist for the Montgomery County government and a lecturer in the Information Systems Department at UMBC. Bhupendra Bosniat, Information Systems, being hooded by his mentors, Dr. Nirmalia Roy and Dr. Arya Gangopadhyay. Dr. Bosniat's research led to creation of an artificially intelligent flood detection system deployed in Ellicott City, Maryland. He plans to use his system to reduce natural disaster risks and save lives. Lavanya Illuri, Information Systems, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Karuna Pandey Joshi. Dr. Iluri's research focused on extracting knowledge from cloud privacy policies and regulations to determine the compliance rate. She will be a tenure-track assistant professor at Texas A&M University, Central Texas. Angela Ying Ku, mechanical engineering, whose mentor is Dr. Akhtar Khan, being hooded by Dr. L.D. Tim Topolesky. Dr. Ku studied the thermomechanical response, anisotropy, and texture evaluation of two overaged aluminum 7056 alloy plates. She is a postdoctoral researcher at the Sandia National Labs in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Naresh Podel, mechanical engineering, being hooded by his mentors, Dr. Mei-Lin Yu and Dr. John T. Brynick. Using high-fidelity numerical simulation tools, Dr. Podel's research contributed to novel design and control of future unconventional unmanned aerial vehicles by providing key insights into unsteady aerodynamics in highly unstructured real-world flight environments. Yang Kyan Sun, mechanical engineering, being hooded by his mentor, Dr. Subham Lee. Utilizing 7 decades of previous research, Dr. Sung studied design, optimization, and computational mechanics and created a new force sensor design that outperforms the existing sensor. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Fine Arts please rise? The MFA is the terminal degree in this field. Dr. Hrabowski.
Dr. Rutledge.
Dr. Hrabowski, I have the honor of presenting the candidates recommended by the faculty of the University of Maryland Graduate School, Baltimore, for the degree of Master of Fine Arts.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the state of Maryland, given to the Board of Regents and the Chancellor of the University System of Maryland, and by them entrusted to me, I hereby admit you to the degree of Master of Fine Arts, which you have earned during the course of your studies at the University of Maryland Graduate School, Baltimore. In token whereof, you shall be given a diploma with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Fine Arts now please proceed with their mentors to the platform? Foster Luis Reynolds Santiago, being Intermedia and Digital Arts, being hooded by his mentor, Professor Kelly Bell. Foster Reynolds Santiago's research and artwork, Transgender Euphoria, Puerto Rico's Queer Exaltation, explores the intersections of Latinx and transgender experience through video mapping, painting, color fiber sculpture, and sound installations that reflect transgender narratives within Puerto Rican culture. Aliye Rezai, Intermedia and Digital Arts, being hooded by her mentor, Dr. Kathy Odell. In Always Already Absent Present on Trauma and Materiality, Aliye Rezai explored interrelationships of nature, linguistics, and pain through her art practice working with organic materials. She plans to pursue her PhD in the integrated study of sculpture and psychoanalytic philosophy. Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Public Policy, Master of Science, and Masters of Professional Studies please rise? Dr. Hrabowski.
Dr. Rutledge.
Dr. Hrabowski, I now have the honor of presenting the candidates recommended by the faculty of the University of Maryland Graduate School, Baltimore, for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Public Policy, Master of Science, and Masters of Professional Studies.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the state of Maryland, given to the Board of Regents and the Chancellor of the University System of Maryland, and by them entrusted to me, I hereby admit you to the degree which you have earned during the course of your studies at the University of Maryland Graduate School, Baltimore. In token whereof, you shall be given a diploma with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Thank you, and please be seated.
Okay. Yeah.
Will the candidates for the master's degree now proceed to the platform? Please remain seated until your row is escorted to the stage.
Master of Arts candidates in the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. In the program of Economic Policy Analysis, Elizabeth Lauren Blake. Amy Sukup. In the program of Education, Carla Leal Landau. In the program of Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, Miriam Walter. Myra Natalie Rios Mujica. Sarah Dutton Howard. Rita S. Newhoff. Sarah Jane Clement. David Joshua Malik. Bitna Kim. Marianne Elaine Ocock Newell. Stephanie Marie Burkett. Anna Nicole Malloy. Maguette Sam. Kristen Philona Monroe Jones. Maya Parker. Ariana Alexis Williams. Chelsea Michelle Lee. Zohara Fatima Suhail. Cindy Elizabeth Lopez. Rebecca Laws. Iris Chiachun Tong. Shuhong Wong. Connor N. Sutherland. Olali Y. Doku. Grayson V. Corbett. Nicholas Pasquale. Garrett Goltz. Terry Joy Crosby. Adriana Marie Urbina Ruiz. Robert Arthur Bartlett. Harry Page. In the program of Text, Technologies, and Literature. In the program of Historical Studies, Hannah Balak. In the program of Intercultural Communication, Matthew Jean Corral Viens. Diana Zini Guraya. Cristina Reguera Gomez. Maria Elena Lee. In the program of Human Services Psychology, Jessica Goldberg. In the program of Learning and Performance Technology, Ashley Nicole Link. Heather Laird. April Renee Cropper. In the program of Applied Sociology, Melanie Yvonne Bovard. Nicholas Isaac Shoemaker. Holly Ann Pizzillo. Triana Deanne Alston. Master of Public Policy candidates in the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. In the program of Public Policy, Jack Casper Woodhead. Abigail Ann Farmer. Alexandra Nicole DeCrane. Master of Professional Studies candidates in the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. In the program of Community Leadership, Keenan Marshall Hickman. Maria Victoria Arieta Hoyos. Donald T. Whitley. Jasmine Taylor Braswell. in the program of Industrial Organizational Psychology. Nidya Danke Bell. Cameron Joyce Williams. Sadia Tahira Jenkins. Rachel M. Devlin. Jesse Cree Ketchum. Tiffany E. Lee. Master of Science candidates in the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences in the program of Emergency Health Services. Alexandra Dorothea Harris. Hillary Ruth Budzinski Bentley in the program of Geography and Environmental Systems. Hugh Gabriel Donahue O'Connor. Laura Coralina Torres Vargas. Master of Science candidates in the College of Natural and Mathematical Sciences in the program of Applied Molecular Biology. Isaac Hyun-Jun Shin. Matthew Charles Doucette. Michael Yasunori Griffith. Ariana Nagar Soleimanpour. Tara Michelle Barvier. Adam Edward Mateo Lees. Nagadi Yamanisri. In the program of Statistics. Lillian Shao Rifkin. In the program of Physics. Maxwell Bradford Eifer. Aditya Singh Thapa. In the program of Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Leadership. Summer Dawn Collins Gaunter. Joshua R. Massey. Faisal Hamza Qureshi. Master of Professional Studies candidates in the College of Natural and Mathematical Sciences in the program of Biotechnology. Timothy Ho. Master of Science candidates in the College of Engineering and Information Technology in the program of Chemical and Biochemical Engineering. Keegan Christian Simon. In the program of Environmental Engineering. Caitlin Michelle Dugan. In the program of Computer Engineering. Shankar Sharma. In the program of Computer Science. Christopher Skane. Felix Dogby. Ruchita Reddy Kudapati. Raghav David Chalai. Akash Alok Vartak. Kathleen Michelle Rive. Purusharth Prakash. In the program of Electrical Engineering. Khandokar Murad Hossain. In the program of Engineering Management. Chiranjeev Dutta. Rishi Shrikant Vaishampayan. Manit Meshram. Ashutosh Chandramauli. Moboluji Adedotun Adebayo. Sonia Abidi. Jeffrey Tyler Cavey. Amina A. Qureshi. Ronisha A. Williams. Emily Barbara Irwin.
Oh, you're Nisha. Okay. Okay.
Aishwarya Kulkarni.
Yeah.
In the program of Systems Engineering. Hiwet Heil. Eric N. Lappy. Joshua Okaisomi Ayokai. Maral Ahmad.
When they walk by, I'm going to hit the name. So
Digvijay Dinanath Patil. In the program of Human-Centered Computing. Rosario del Carmen Roque. Clifton Bruce Robertson Jr. Miriam Yakini. Olabode Babatunde Fua. Luela Abdegalil Babikar. Nikki Renee Mancheski. Anirudh Nagraj. Stephen Michael Rule. Namrata Vishwas Kelkar. Sri Purani Gunasekaran. Apurva Jagadish. Dozier M. Ogwike. Emmanuel Opang.
He said it.
Vishnu Prasad Rajappa. Derek D. Appia, Tislam Pendergrass, Jesse R. Deal Jr., Samuel William Cooper. In the program of Mechanical Engineering, Madeline Grace Selby, Matthew Wesley Dusek, Alexander James Caporal, Christina K. Hoffman, Devesh Mulchan Ajbani, Ashwini Bansod, Da Chi Zhao, Erin Marie Fago, Anthony A. Adedoyan, Derek T. Davis, Elvis N. Atongwe, Shagofa Nazhand, Emmanuel Olale, Navya Kona,
Yeah.
Grace Osezua, Rachel Alberta Corrigan, Francisco E. Cartagena Bracamonte, Sean Michael Custer, Larry Lee Morton Jr., Michelle de Paula Silveira, David Isaacson, Joaquim Andrew. In the program of Data Science, Tracy Monique Umbu Nyamsi Umnyobi, Shruti Macheti, Srinidhi Nilagiri, Ricardo L. Davidson Sr., Nico Anthony Darby, Tamrat Workene, Sainab Jallo, Nigist Workicho Woldiesis, Yunpeng Lee, Tara Banapuri Bardvaj, Kylie Ann McKee, Tiraso Tekli Wobe, Hannah Christine Jones Laper, Marissa S. Tan, Hughes Nelson Iradukunda, Olivia Catherine Dokal, Jin Hui Shu, Rilwan Olawala Agbula, Zachary Soden. In the program of Technical Management, Margaret Francis Cresa, Richard O. Magomu Wacha, Milana Joyce Campbell, Scott David Peterson, Akshay Shrigopal Lada, Chetan Baswanthraya Desai, Sai Kartik Ejumudi, Aslam Beg, Daniel Asrar Abbasi, Daniel Rahan, Mamata Kadka, ULM D. Kualao, Malvina Yaboa Frimpong, Shayla Michelle Giles, Kimran Randhawa, Korea Monet Steger, Krina Patel, Xiao Jia Deng.
That's it?
That's it.
Best performance ever, don't you think?
We are almost there. You have been a very impressive audience. We're finishing that slice of pizza. Remember that, all right? It has been my tradition to quote the words of UMBC's first president, the late Dr. Alvin Kuhn, to the first graduating class in 1970. This is what he said: "If you bring to the future the same personal qualities and personal commitment you've brought to this campus as students, good and important things will happen to each of you and to those around you, and we will be so proud to have played a part in your lives." And now let me leave you with these words about your future. Be confident, knowing that the education you received here gives you a solid foundation for the rest of your lives. Know that if you persevere, and we know you will reach your goals, though you will be certain to be challenged, as we all are, along the way. But remember that your dreams, and most important, your character, will determine who you will become. Your character will be reflected most clearly in the courage you possess and the compassion you show for others. Be true to yourselves and true in your relationships. Always work to inspire between silence and inspiration. Graduates, I am so proud to tell you that you are now officially alumni of UMBC. You will always be connected to us. This is your home. Be happy, be safe, and keep hope alive. Standing ovation for the class of 2022. Remain standing, everyone. Stay where you are in this dignified ceremony. We're out of here in a couple of minutes, into the pizza. At this time, stay in your seats as we play the alma mater, and out of abundance of caution, we ask that you not sing because of the challenge. Just listen the words and feel them. You'll see them on the screen. After the alma mater, we ask that you remain in your seats. Our program will be concluded by our Grand Marshal, and then the platform will recess. Please wait to leave until the platform party has left. You have been an amazing audience, an amazing class. Big round of applause for everybody.
Will everyone kindly remain standing until the platform party has recessed? Family and friends are asked to meet graduates outside of the event center. On behalf of the UMBC community, I wish you congratulations, everyone.
on